Law of Attraction, 3 practical tips for making your mind a magnet to awesome. So, today I'd like to offer some practical tips for reconditioning our minds, and rooting out all the crappy beliefs that have been running the show all these years. This can seem like a formidable task, but the good news is, you don't have to worry about totally beating every negative thought, feeling and belief to a bloody pulp, never to resurface again. It is all about what is dominant. You just need that positivity be the predominant force as much as you can. That is all it takes to tilt things in your favor. That is a much more manageable goal, don't you think? Don't you feel a nice sense of relief now? Now, I won't lie, the more you can feel good and shift these negative beliefs and feelings, the faster things will come. But it just is what it is. We need to honor where we are now, and just do our best. So what if it takes a little longer? The time is going to pass anyway, and wouldn't it be much better spent working towards making your life better than doing nothing at all and nothing changing, or perhaps even getting worse? If you don't feel great all the time, if certain beliefs still pop in, it's okay. You are not doomed. When I had my severe money troubles all those years ago, I certainly didn't feel good all the time. In fact, I had moments when I felt really, really bad, like severe anxiety and panic. But I diligently worked on reconditioning my mind, and as time went on, I felt better more of the time, and like I said earlier, it is all about what is dominant. So, I have seen firsthand this idea of aiming for at least a 51/49% ratio works. One of the primary reasons we have such difficulty making these shifts is the fact we have been living on autopilot all this time. We just react to whatever happens to us. We take what other people say about us as truth without ever stopping to think they don't know what the hell they are talking about. We expose ourselves to all kinds of insidious influences without realizing how much they are actually affecting us. All of this makes for quite the shit stew in our subconscious, which just takes everything as fact, and will aid us in attracting everything that reflects all the junk. So, we need to exert some conscious effort in strengthening the good vibes. We have to practice focusing positively. Here are a few exercises that I ask you to commit to for the next 7 days. The power of words. So, you may be thinking, haven't you said our words don't matter when it comes to attraction, and only what we feel? Yes, I did say that. But I was referring to a more specific instance where we may feel compelled to perpetuate situations that make us feel horribly, for fear that speaking our problems out loud would send the wrong message to the universe, who will continue to give us more of the same. For example, if you have been avoiding creditors because you think admitting you can't pay your bills is bad, but you feel sick to your stomach every day, and think about nothing besides how broke you are, which makes you feel even worse, the phone call to set up a payment plan, no matter how small, is the way to go, because it will provide a huge sense of relief. Like I have said before, relief is a very powerful feeling when it comes to attraction. It makes space for solutions and inspirations. What I am talking about here is the more general impact of the words we use in our everyday life, and the things we talk about keeping us from experiencing the changes we desire. We say things all the time that perpetuate the reality we don't want, and we don't even realize it. Increasing our awareness of how we are acting, thinking and speaking now is a crucial element of working consciously with our energy and law of attraction. So, I task you with not speaking negatively regarding whatever aspect of life you are working on improving through your work with Loa, for the next week. Obviously this is something you want to work on all the time, but this is an exercise to help build this awareness of your speech, and let's just focus on a week instead of forever. So, if you're having money issues, don't complain about your crappy salary, all the bills you can't pay, all the things you want but can't afford, the fact that you don't have as many clients as you want, so on and so forth. If you are trying to attract a relationship, don't talk about how much it sucks being single, how all girls are batshit crazy, all guys are giant douches, how hard it is to meet people, and so on and so forth. You might still be thinking all of these things, and that's okay, we're just working on the words. By limiting them, we help give less power to the thoughts, which in turn, make us feel better. And just like we want to avoid piling on the crap with all the talk that perpetuates our limiting beliefs and what we don't want, we want to infuse our subconscious with pretty words that help chip away at said crap, and let better feelings and beliefs take root. But you want to just use the words that represent what you want, like love, abundance, prosperity, peace, health or whatever, without turning them into an I am affirmation. When you are broke as hell, but telling yourself, I am abundant, or overweight and sickly, and telling yourself, I am health, your mind is just going to call you a big, fat liar. These things aren't true for you right in this moment, and you know it. Saying these things doesn't make you feel better one iota. In fact, it usually makes you feel even worse because in those moments you are observing quite acutely the vast difference between your current reality and the more desired one. Just using the words won't activate this resistance because you are not making statements about yourself that your mind will fight you on, you are just saying words. Do this a few minutes a day several times a day. Right before bed and right upon waking are 2 times it is particularly powerful. Bust out the words when you find yourself thinking and feeling badly. Focus on the good about yourself. If you are like most people, you had myriad experiences throughout your life that made you feel badly in some way, or develop a jacked up self-image. Perhaps it was a shitty parent, cruel kids, a crappy relationship, an embarrassing incident. God, this list could go on for infinity, could it not? In these moments, decisions are made that we are not good enough, that we are defective in some way. And since our world is created from the inside out, we attract all sorts of situations and people that mirror these truths back to us. But, since we don't realize this is the case, we wrongly take this as proof these beliefs are legitimate. Then there is the whole idea that actually liking ourselves is not acceptable, and we should always be focusing on what is wrong with us, and what needs to be fixed. We are supposed to be modest and humble. This is a bunch of nonsense. I'm not talking about being some self-obsessed narcissist. I am talking about the fact it is okay to actually like ourselves, and acknowledge what is good about us and what we are good at. We could all use some work in this department to various degrees. I'll kick things off here a bit. I am really good at writing about personal development topics. I'm not a spiritual master or a guru, nor do I have all the answers, but I have learned a lot, and I do a good job of sharing what I have learned on my own journey with others. I'm good at coaching, and my clients get great benefit from working with me. When people compliment me on my blog, I have gotten better at just taking the compliment and thanking them, without making any sort of self-deprecating remark, or downplaying it. What are you good at? What are the good things about you? You want to start focusing on those things more deliberately so you can start seeing how awesome you are. Sure, you have your flaws, you have made mistakes, we all have. But that is just one part of us, and we get to choose what we focus on. Where our attention goes, our energy grows. We can make a different decision, we can decide that we are pretty great, and that the other things aren't true. So, every day this week, I want you to write down all the great things about yourself, no matter how small a thing may seem, and read this list out loud, preferably in front of the mirror. Write out the list every day, there is a lot of power in writing. Appreciation list. Just like we have a tendency to focus on all the stuff we don't like about ourselves, we really get a kick out of focusing on all the things we don't like about our life. All the great stuff gets left out in the cold, never to be acknowledged. They are things we expect, and feel entitled to, so no need to actually express any sort of appreciation for them. But when you really begin to grasp the idea that creation is always based on what is happening now, in this very instant, it becomes painfully obvious this habit is highly detrimental to the manifestation process. We mistakenly think focusing on what we don't have is the way to get it. We feel quite justified in feeling badly about our current reality, and we defend our bad feelings and limiting beliefs to the death. We're weird like that. It's understandable. We have a lot of momentum behind the negativity, and it is easier to keep being that way. It doesn't take much to get us going down that road. But we can't keep using that as an excuse. We can't keep being mentally lazy. We always have a choice on what to focus on, and how to feel, and we need to start using that power to our advantage, rather than to our detriment. We can only attract things when we become a match to them. Feeling wise, and being an unappreciative douche is not going to get us there. Feeling good about our life now, and I mean genuinely feeling good, will create the energy that makes us more receptive to the things we want. And by this, I don't mean forcing yourself to like things you just don't like. I mean focusing in on the things that can actually evoke genuine good emotion from you, the things that make you feel like what you want is a real possibility. I think you know where this is going. Bust out a piece of paper and write down all the things in your life that you can appreciate right now. Take a moment to really think about these things and how great they are, to help you cultivate that warm fuzzy feeling. Again, write out the list every day. In closing, shifting our mindset and beliefs can be a challenge for sure, but it is actually not as hard as we make it out to be. We just need to practice bringing our mind to a happy place. We are so used to focusing on all the crap, it has become second nature, and we wrongly believe we can't change that. These exercises are designed to break you out of that fog, and help you see the light, the truth. Really commit to doing these 3 things this week, and I assure you of a change. Don't underestimate their power because of the simplicity of these acts. It is the simplest things that offer the most profound change, we just need to commit to doing them.